Have you been trying to have a very loud sound when you sing? Do you know the difference between projecting your sound and actually pushing? This is what we're going to discuss in this video because that difference is very important to understand in just a moment.
Dare to climb boldly, brave that high peak. You'll never know failure if bravely you seek.
Today I'd like to talk about the difference between pushing your voice and projecting. It's a very important distinction because you hear so much nowadays the term belting. You know, it's one of those where everybody wants to have a full, strong, loud voice, and there's nothing bad or wrong about that. The only thing that could be potentially be bad is whether in trying to develop that you actually damage your voice because you don't know exactly what to do. So in order to have a loud voice, this is what you don't need to do and you shouldn't do is push. Don't just push thinking that, oh, if I'm going to push, my voice will be louder and so I will be belting it out. That is not how it works. There is a way to make your voice louder, fuller, more resonant. That has nothing to do with pushing, and it's got to do with learning how to place your voice. What does that mean? Placing a sound means training your throat muscles to shape themselves in a particular way when you sing a note so that that note can come out in the loudest, fullest, most resonant way possible with the least amount of effort on your part. And this is very important, the least amount of effort. Too often, what you hear is people yelling. There's a difference between singing loud and yelling. They're two very different things. And sometimes, unfortunately, when you hear singers singing loud, what they're actually doing, they're yelling all the time. You can even tell by just looking at them because their face turns red and they got veins sticking out their neck. Anyways, it's just not the way it's supposed to happen. So if you want to sing loud, I suggest first that you learn to place your voice. And it's kind of ironic, but often one of the things you need to do in order to learn to sing correctly, which is more relaxed with your throat open and expanded, what you need to do is actually pull back from volume and sing maybe a little softer, because it's easier for the muscles to learn this process if there's not too much volume going on. More volume is just more pressure on the muscles. And if the muscles are not developed enough, especially the muscles that you need to sing in the upper range, which for some people is totally unexplored territory. So if the muscles are not developed yet to do that well, the voice tends to crack. So one thing that you can do is pull back from volume a little bit so that the sound is softer, maybe not quite as full, but at least it's relaxed and it's a whole sound. It's not a crackly sound. In my experience, volume is actually one of the last things that you work on. And to be honest, if you do everything right, you don't really need to even work on it. It will just be there as a result of having learned to place your voice correctly in the right way. And so how do you learn to do that? Well, this is not really possible to explain in one video, but there are a lot of resources that you can find where you can really learn. I have also online courses that teach you that. I teach that obviously in person to my students, but it's a process of gradually training your sound, first of all, to be full. So you don't want to have any breath between along with the sound, but just a full breath. And there's a way to learn to do that I can teach you. And then after that, you gradually learn to open and relax the throat. And what that does, it increases the resonance, and it also teaches you how to access the upper range and be able to sing up there. And once all that is done, so once your voice is able to, you're able to sing naturally and easily in the low range, in the middle range, in the high range, and everything is correctly done, then you'll notice that all you have to do is just use more air pressure and you get a louder sound. But the sound won't just be louder, it will be more resonant and fuller. And it also, a good sound has this particular feature, which is it's a sound that you can hear from a distance. Like you can walk feet away from the singer, and the singer will be able to project that sound far away. In fact, the singer will not be able to hear the sound quite as loud as people standing far from them, in front of them, and they will receive actually more volume and more sound, because a trained voice is a voice that is able to project. And so this is what I'm talking about. It's not about, if you just push, you think you're louder because you hear yourself loudly, but the sound is not really traveling very far from you. It's just gonna stop not too far from you, and people far away from you won't be able to hear you. Whereas a trained voice can actually project, and this is the big difference between just being loud because you're pushing and really projecting your sound. This is very important, not just for singers, but also for speakers and actors, for example. It's true that often actors and speakers are mic'd, but sometimes not. And so you need to be able to fill a big room full of people when you speak and have a talk and give a talk, and be able to really project your sound. But you need to do it in a way that you're not going to be absolutely voiceless by the end of your talk because you've been pushing and straining. You have to be able to do it just naturally. And so all these things, there's a way to do them, in such a way that it's not a strain on the voice, and they can be learned. And like I said, I can't really get into right now, but I really wanted to emphasize this big difference between projecting and pushing. It's very, very different. And I really hope that before you start to really just yell out your voice thinking that you're going to be louder and thinking that it's actually good for your voice, I just want you to know that no, it's not. And you need to really first learn how to place it. And it takes some doing, it takes a little bit of patience, but it does pay off in the end, in the sense that you will be able to produce even very loud sounds, just as loud as your voice is capable of, without any effort. And this is the great thing. Also, one last thought is that not everybody's voice can be equally loud. Some people by nature have a louder voice than others. And if you're somebody who doesn't have a super loud voice, you shouldn't really try to be louder and louder by straining, because it's just going to be bad for your vocal cords. So there's a lot that you can do by training your voice. And then there's the voice that nature gave you, and that's the voice you have. So just be aware of that. And sometimes though, a voice that doesn't seem to be particularly loud, it's not loud just because it's not placed well. And once the person starts to train the voice, they notice gradually that a bigger and bigger sound comes out that they didn't even know they had. So that's also a possibility. So it's really hard to tell until a voice is completely trained. It's really hard to tell how loud it can be in the end, by the end of the training. But training is essential if you want to sing, at the top of your lungs, as they say, but without straining, without damaging the voice. The voice, even if you don't lose your voice, or you lose it and then it gets back, but it does wear out. If you don't use it right, it won't last very long. I don't know if you noticed, but a lot of the famous pop and rock singers who come out and they sing super duper loud, they often don't last very long. I remember years ago going to a concert of one of my favorite singers, and he had this amazing voice, seemed to me, and he was singing very high melodies, very loud, with a powerful sound. And I went to see him live, and it was a total disappointment. He couldn't hit any of the high notes. His voice was very small, and you could tell that the voice wasn't healthy. So, is it worth it? Just think about it. It's worth taking the time and the commitment to work on your voice a little bit longer, but then having a voice that is not only 100% reliable, but also a voice that can last for a lifetime. And so there you have it. This is my 2 cents about the difference between pushing and projecting. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you in the next video. So do subscribe to my channel if you want to actually see it. Bye.
In your courage when